Well, there's a lot of great teams in college football, and these are two of the best this year. We're talking LSU and Alabama with my good friend Goose Sports. Goose, how you doing?
Doing good, Ballon. How you doing, man? How you
Good.
doing this Thursday?
What's
Weekend's
that?
almost here. So, on this Thursday, weekend's almost here, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
and man, it's crazy. I mean, we're already like in week 10, week 9 in the college football. I mean, it's almost Thanksgiving, man. I mean, I remember week 1. It's like
Yeah.
seemed like 2 weeks ago. Week 1 was here.
It
Now
seemed
we're
like just the other day I don't know if you saw my reaction to the Alabama Texas game and the field goal that we hit to win it, but
yeah,
it seems like that happened just yesterday. I mean, it's just kind of gone by. And
man.
but regardless, we're here at week 9, and both of our teams have really stepped it up in big ways. And we got a top 10 matchup. We got probably what you could say. And I kind of put this here. I mean, is the SEC West on the line in this game here?
Um, Good question because you guys still have to play Ole Miss.
Right.
But I mean, I think it is for LSU. If LSU loses, they can't win the SEC West. It's impossible. It'll be impossible for them to win for them to win the SEC West if they lose this game. They have to win, and then they have 2 games. I think I'm not going to say easy games, but they're very winnable. Arkansas and Texas A&M is very inconsistent. I know they're on the road, both of them, but that's very winnable games.
Yeah.
For LSU if they can get by Alabama, because they got the head-to-head against Ole Miss, so if they beat Alabama, then they would have the head-to-head with them. So yeah, I think this is the Final Four in the SEC. You got Tennessee, Georgia in the East, and you got LSU, Bama here in the West. I think Bama will beat Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss is a good team. I think they were kind of overrated a little bit in the top 10, but I think this is the Final Four where the winner of these 2 games are probably going to meet in Atlanta. But should be a fun weekend, man. They got this. This is a good weekend for the SEC. Both games hopefully are good games.
Yeah, and especially not to get off topic, but especially that Tennessee Georgia game because those are undefeated, top 4, top 3, whatever. But just to focus in on Alabama LSU, I will ask, you got a first-year head coach in Brian Kelly. He's gotten you in a top 10 spot.
Right.
It wasn't that long ago with Coach Orgeron that, it was 2019.
Right.
How is it might not be that year specifically for you guys, but is there any feeling of that year with a little bit of hope this year?
Well, I mean, before the season started, I thought LSU would go 8-4.
Okay.
I thought that would be their. I thought 9-3 would be a stretch. They lost to Florida State, and I thought, there's no way they're going down to 3 because they got to play Alabama, they got to play Ole Miss, they got to go to at Auburn, at Florida, at Texas A&M, at Arkansas. I said, there's no way they're going down to 3. But even if they lose this game Saturday, they have a very good chance of going down to 3. So I think this year kind of reminds me of 2018 when the year before they won the national title. That's when they won the Fiesta Bowl against UCF. This team reminds me a little bit of that team, just not quite there yet. So we'll see. We'll see Saturday. I think the LSU has a very good chance at winning, but there's some things that they're gonna have to do to win this game. For one, they can't get off to a slow start. We got off a slow start against Florida State, Mississippi State, Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, and we're lucky to come back and win some of those. We can't get behind this game. We can't get behind 13-0, 17-7. We can't. We're not going to win if we do that. Not
Right.
against this team.
Yeah, no, Alabama's definitely that team that you got to come out and get a fast start. I think Tennessee showed that. I think they kind of took a 14-point lead or whatever it was at halftime. And, not only do you have to get a fast start and be ahead in the game, you have to not quit and you got to be resilient and show a lot of toughness, a lot of good performance, and continue that for 4 quarters. And I'm going to just be honest. I do like LSU this year. I do think they've had a good season. I don't know if do they seem like that type of team? Because in my personal opinion, I'm really not sure.
Yeah, this game will tell a lot, I think, because they've had some nice wins, but Auburn's just fired their coach. Yeah, that game was on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's Florida's not good, but it was still on the road. And you win an SEC game on the road, it still holds the water somewhere. But those two teams really aren't, elite. Ole Miss, I thought, was very overrated. I thought they shouldn't have been in the top 10, but they were. This game, no, Mississippi State. They beat Mississippi State at home at the time, but they're not that good. They're not. They're probably 8-4 team, maybe Mississippi State.
Yeah.
But this is a good measuring stick to see what this team has. But they really. This isn't their year anyway. So, if they lose a close game, the world's not going to end for LSU and Brian Kelly. It's not. This wasn't supposed to be their year. It wasn't. So, I think they've kind of exceeded expectations a little bit, being ranked in the top 10, in the first playoff poll. If you'd have told me that after the Florida State game, I would have said you're crazy. They're not going to sit the top 10 this year.
Right. And I guess it's kind of a good thing that's happened, because you do want to exceed expectation.
Right.
So, assuming, but we don't really want to make too much assumptions, but let's assume if Brian Kelly is that guy that we think he is, is it only up from here for LSU? They're if you look at their recruiting, they're in the top 4 and 24/7 right now. But look, recruiting. Look, I don't get excited about recruiting anymore until December when they sign, because with NIL and these kids changing their minds every 5 seconds, they can decommit tomorrow. So, right.
But if they recruit well, and they got to keep the players. That's one thing that Orgeron did not do the last 2 seasons, was keep the players that he recruited on the football team. That's why they got into the situation where they only had like 40 people for the bowl game last year against Kansas State, because all the attrition they had. So you're going to have to recruit players, and you got to keep them, and you got to develop them. You can't just say, okay, they're a 4-star, they're going to be good. You got to develop them. Will he win an SEC championship or national championship? I guess time will tell. I think he will have the opportunity to. Nick Saban did it. Les Miles did it. Ed Orgeron did it. That's the last 3 coaches we had accomplish that feat. So it could be done, but I think it's not a knock against Jaden Daniels, but I don't think he's a national champion quarterback. I think he's a very good quarterback, college quarterback, but they're gonna have to upgrade the quarterback position next few years probably.
Yeah. So we're here talking LSU and Alabama with
what's up, Steve?
With Goose Sports. If you guys have questions for us in the chat, feel free to leave them. Like we said, what's up, Steve Pearson? How you doing? Hope you're doing good, man.
His Falcons in first place, man. I think off track. His Falcons, man, in first place, man. They beat the Saints. Saints got lucky against the Falcons, but they're in first place, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I do want to talk about, obviously, like focus in on this matchup. What are some of the key players that you've seen for LSU this year that you think, if you guys have any chance, could probably be impact players?
Well, it's like Jacob Watson just says, if LSU runs the ball successfully, then they got a chance to win. They got to run the football. We're gonna have to run the football with Armani Goodwin. I don't know if Emery's gonna play, but I'm not sure if Emery's gonna play. But Josh Williams, Armani Goodwin, Noah Kane, those three guys are gonna have to run the football, and we're gonna have to protect Jane Daniels. He's gonna have to have time to throw the football, and I think he's gonna have to make plays with his feet. I know they've been trying to get him to throw the ball more, but I mean sometimes you just gotta let your quarterback do what he does best, and he's good when he uses his feet and makes plays. So
yeah,
Kayshon Boudy's gonna have to. I mean, he's been kind of MIA the whole year, but he had a good game against Ole Miss. But if they can run the football, protect the quarterback, not have any dumb penalties, dumb turnovers, and we also gotta have to pressure Bryce Young. We can't let him just sit back there and throw the football all day long. Then they got a chance. So we'll see Saturday. But I don't know how we're gonna block. I don't know how we're gonna block Will Anderson, but we're gonna try. But
that probably won't happen. But see.
Man, I wouldn't mind the Saints getting him. Jeez, man.
Oh my gosh. No, he'll go top 10. I don't.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a first round pick, so Saints aren't going to get him.
Yeah.
Because we don't have no first round pick because the Eagles have our first round pick, so we won't be getting him. But
that's right.
He's a good talent. But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, defensively, we've been, there's been times where our run defense was bad. It was bad against Florida. It was bad against Auburn. We're gonna have to limit. We can't allow them to run for 200 yards.
Right.
I mean, if they get 120, okay, that's not great, but we can't let them run for 200 yards. I'm just curious to see how LSU plays. If we can come out and have a good start, we can't. Like I told you before we got on camera, we just cannot get behind 17-0, 13-0, and expect to come back and win this football game because probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I like what Steve says here. He says LSU has a good chance if Alabama doesn't clean up the penalties. That is true.
Yeah, y'all had a lot against Tennessee.
Yeah, and I've kind of had my thoughts on that where I personally think Alabama was just very undisciplined. I thought there were a couple questionable calls, but for Alabama,
there always is.
Alabama fans were all like, Tennessee, how much did you pay them? And like all this stuff. But yeah, I think for Alabama's point in this game, you got to clean up the penalties. And I'm still going to keep saying this, even though I've seen a lot of great improvement from it. Which offensive line are we getting to protect Bryce Young? Right. Because are we going to have a game like we had against Texas where we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't protect the quarterback enough, even though we won the game?
Right.
Or are we going to have a field day with it and we're going to go hang 40 or 50 points? The offensive line, I think, from now on, at least for this season, until I see a consistent offensive line at Alabama, is always going to be in question before every single game because it's been like our kicking game with Will Reichard, he was doing so well until this year, but that's always been the Achilles heel for Alabama's dynasty under Nick Saban. This year, man, I think the offensive line, like the talent's there. You got Damian Dalcourt, you got Tyler Steen. You have all these guys, but are they going to play to a standard to where every down, every play, make the blocks, no false starts, no holding
Yeah,
calls, and can you protect your quarterback? And some people don't realize how important an offensive line is.
very
It's a
important.
big deal in a football game.
Yeah, you got to have a good. Your tackles have to be good because you got to protect the, especially the blind side.
Yeah,
Uh, you got to have a good. You got to have a good whatever. If it's a right-handed quarterback, it's a left tackle. If it's a it's the left, it's a right tackle. You got your blind side. You have to protect the blind side. Um, but and your center. I mean, the
yeah,
center I think is probably the most important of the because he calls protections. So your center has to be able to the call to protections, tell them where the blitz is coming from, and so center is very under is a very under people don't know how important the center is. So
yeah. Hey, give me a second.
all right, Jesus, man,
Sorry about that. I had a phone call.
that's all right. Yeah, I got. I mean, not to get. This is about the Saints or LSU, but yeah, Michael Thomas is probably out for the year for the Saints.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, he's like Zion, man. He's always hurt.
Right?
All right, let's go back to LSU and Bama. So yeah, with the offensive line we're talking about. Yeah, I mean, you got to protect the quarterback and you got to run the football. Still in today's football game, as offensive and passing it is, you still got to do those two things. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't just throw the football and expect to win football games consistently. So
Right.
yeah, so I mean that's the reason why Mike Leach hasn't really won anything of any significance because his offense is pretty much just air raid. He throws the ball like it's PlayStation. So, but yeah, still gonna be physical.
Absolutely.
But your offensive line, didn't y'all get like was it I think it was last Sonic Clash? Y'all got two guys from Texas, like brothers or something that was supposed to be really, really good.
Yes, and I really haven't seen them play.
Yeah,
Actually, at least to my knowledge.
I know
You're
they
talking
were.
about the Brockmeyer twins
Yeah,
from Fort
that's
Worth.
them. That's them. That's them.
They're freshmen. You got James Brockmeyer. He's number 58, and Tommy Brockmeyer is 76, and they're big guys too. I mean, James is 6'3", 282, and then Tommy is 6'5", 304. So, but when you have Darian Dalcourt, who's a senior, Emil Ekior's a
Yeah,
senior,
they're playing over them. Yeah.
Cohen, we got all these juniors and seniors that are trying to get ready for the NFL. So guys that we've recruited on the offensive line, that we've wanted to see, we still got to wait for.
Yeah. So, yeah, I remember them. Was it last year? They were because they're from Texas, and
Yeah.
I think they're some of their I think their dad and their grandfather played for Texas, so that was a little surprising they didn't go to Texas. But Texas has not been good in a very long time, so but I just wonder if they were even in the rotation of the offensive line. But if you got upperclassmen that have been playing there for a long time, they're going to have to wait their turn until next year, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those are guys that I think, should be given a chance, but I don't know what goes through Saban's mind or, when he decides like who goes out there, who
Right.
does what. But what have you seen from I don't know how much of Alabama you've watched this year. Surely you've watched a couple games,
Yeah,
but
I watched the Tennessee game and then the Texas game. I think that's the only
yeah.
two I've watched.
So obviously, I'm the one asking the questions. I'll
Yeah.
kind of feed off of it too. But when you look at the defensive side for Alabama, you got Will Anderson, you got Dallas Turner, you got guys in the middle, Justin Boy being DJ Dale. I mean, there's a lot of guys that can get pressure on Jaden Daniels in this game.
Right.
Just what have you seen this year from Alabama's defense that stands out to you? Because I mean, it has been up and down, but I think it's definitely better than maybe like 2019 where we had issues and uh, we even had a couple issues, I would say, last year.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Tennessee, because Tennessee is a really good offense. I
That's
mean,
true.
they really have
I'm
a
not counting
very
that,
good
though.
offense. I mean, so you can't say, well, Alabama's defense sucks because Tennessee just has a very good offense. Um, so if you just take that game away, yeah, there's just been. Like I said, I haven't really watched much of y'all, but I know it's Saban, so you're going to have a defense that's coached well.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to make many mistakes. I mean, he's especially he's a defensive. He was a defensive back coach, so that was his specialty. So I just think that yeah, the defense probably not what it was a few years ago, but I think it's still a good enough defense to to give LSU fits, to get pressure on the quarterback and maybe force Jaden Daniels, some bad throws, especially with Will Anderson. He's just he's a top 10 pick, maybe top 5 pick. He might be a top 5 pick coming out next year because he's a junior, right?
Which one?
Will Anderson.
He's a junior this year.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So he'll be in the draft next year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just think this game is going to come down. I think I'm not going to say these two teams are even because I think Bama's a little bit better than LSU, but I think it's going to come down to who runs the ball better, who doesn't turn the ball over and has those dumb penalties. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to come down to that. Whoever takes care of the ball, runs the football, and don't have no dumb penalties. Like you said, the holding calls or if you get a 15-yard gain, it gets called back for holding. Well, then, yeah. So, or you had that false start in the red zone, it pushes you back 5 yards, and you got set up for a field goal, stuff like that. So I think whoever plays sound football is going to win this football game. I think it's going to be a close game now. I say within 10 points.
Yeah. So your offense, we talked about a little bit, and we talked about some of the guys on there, but when you're scoring in today's college football, it's amazing how with the snap of a finger, how quickly it became an offensive type of game, even though I still think defenses are really good and important. But you guys are scoring 35 points a game. I guess it's doing okay right now, but
outside the Tennessee game, because we just made some boneheaded plays to start that game, and we got behind big, and we never be able to recover. But yeah, we scored 42. We scored like 42 against Ole Miss. We scored 45 against Florida. It wasn't looking good against Ole Miss. We were down 17-3, and then we outscore them 42-3 rest of the game.
That was crazy too. Yeah.
That's why I think Ole Miss was a little bit overrated. And I'm curious to see. I'm really curious to see what Ole Miss does against Alabama. What next week? Y'all play them next weekend?
Ole Miss, yes.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what that game next week, because I'm really curious to see what Lane Kiffin, how he responds. But Yeah. So, I mean, I've been really impressed with our offense, honestly. Jane Daniels has gotten better since the first game. So, I'd say as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, I think LSU has a very good chance of winning this game. Um, but you cannot and receivers have to catch the ball too. You can't have drops. There's been some times where we have drops. If the ball hits you in the numbers, you got to catch the ball. I mean, you got to catch it. I mean, so hopefully the rain doesn't. Hopefully, like I said, I talked about the rain earlier. Hopefully there's no rain. I don't want a game rain and sloppy and all that. I want a dry football. So
yeah.
Because I don't know, I mean, because then that changes things. Then you can't really run the offense you want to. Neither team can. Either team can run the offense they want to, pouring down a rainstorm. So, but hopefully it's dry this Saturday. Hopefully it is. What's up, Neo? How you doing? How's everything over in your neck of the woods?
Let's see. And I think a big key in this game for you guys. So I'm looking at some numbers here. You got like a 49% on third down,
Right.
which is I'm just going to be honest. In my opinion, that's not really good.
That's a little low.
Yeah, it is. That's going to be a big key in this game for you guys too. Is can you convert the third down, and can you got to hope that Alabama can stay on the field.
Right. Piggyback on the third down. Yeah, on the third downs. You want to stay out of third and longs.
Right.
Third and sevens, third and you want to be 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. That way you can kind of have a open playbook a little bit. If you're 3rd and 7 and 3rd and 8, the defense is just going to drop 7 or 8 in coverage. 3rd and 2, well then you could throw it, you could run it. So that's going to be another big part of the game is on third downs. Who converts third downs? Who stays out of third longs? But yeah, because against Florida, I think Jaden Daniels was like 8 of 9 on passing on third downs in that game. On third downs, I think I remember that stat when they played Florida. So that's a stat that's going to need to happen Saturday. We're going to have to convert on third downs. We're going to have to be. We're going to have to convert. 70%. 7 maybe like 7 out of 10. That would be really good. 4 out of 10, 3 out of 11. Yeah, that's not a recipe for success.
Converting the third downs and hoping that you get in those situations where you can force a penalty on Alabama, right, I think is definitely going to help your offense in big ways.
Yeah. Oh, Nia moved to Pensacola. Okay, cool. Yeah, my son-in-law and daughter just moved from Pensacola because he's in the Coast Guard. So he got restationed. So, but they were in Pensacola for a while. I like going to the beach over there in Pensacola. I like the Florida beaches. Nice clean water and nice sandy beaches, and the water's clear. It's nice. So, yeah. Just got to deal with hurricanes, unfortunately. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, you got to deal with hurricanes. But other than that, and luckily, knock on wood. Well, Tampa area got hit pretty bad over there, but one's too bad. But I was gonna say we lucked out, but then I remember when Florida just got hit by a bad hurricane. So no.
Yeah.
It just takes one, unfortunately.
Yeah. So definitely I'll say this. I'm looking at your last 5 games here.
You got a bot in there. Did somebody
A
time
what?
that person out? That girls 4.
Oh, yeah.
I get that crap, man.
I hate those.
You took care of it?
An error occurred. Try refreshing the page. I'll block whoever the hell I want to.
Let's see. Okay, said yeah. Neo just got it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
All right. Yeah, I get
Where
those.
was
I get those in my chat. They're aggravating, especially when they put like 40 messages at one time. I don't know how they do that. It's a computer system doing it, but that's just aggravating. So good. All right, so let's back to sports.
Yeah. So Alabama coming off a bye week. We're talking with Goose Sports about Alabama LSU this week. We're coming off a 30-6 victory over Mississippi State, who played a good game against us, defensively at least. Couldn't really get their offense together. Y'all are coming off a bye week, but you
Right.
look at your last couple games. 45-35 over Florida, 45-20 over Ole Miss. You lost to Tennessee in a big blowout.
Yeah, got bad.
I guess that Tennessee game's kind of excusable. Like Tennessee's doing what they're doing, but you guys have had some good games. You got a close win over Auburn. That's always close. How do you not score wise, but just how do you break Alabama's defense in this game to put up big numbers like you did maybe on Ole Miss or Florida?
I don't know.
Not score wise, but I'm sure passing and everything was phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see us putting up 40 points. I don't see that happening. I know Tennessee did it, but we don't have that kind of offense. Yeah, we did it against Ole Miss, did it against Florida, but like I said, I think like I told you, Ole Miss, I think were way overrated. Florida's not. Florida's a dumpster fire. Dan Mullen, he didn't recruit very well. That guy Napier he's gonna have his hands full rebuilding that football team. But if LSU can get if they can somehow get in the 30s, mid to low 30s, I think they got a good chance at winning. I think they're gonna have to score in the 30s to win this game. Just don't hope I'm. I think because I don't know. Mississippi, if you take the Tennessee game out for you guys, I mean, look at us. I don't. Have y'all given up 30 points outside of Tennessee?
The closest we gave up was 26 to Arkansas.
Against
Arkansas. But we scored 49.
Yeah. And now we have that game was close until the fourth quarter?
Third or fourth quarter, we pulled away.
Yeah, so I mean, because Utah State, Monroe, Monroe, okay, Texas, Vanderbilt. But yeah, I mean, because you gave up 20 against A&M, 26. Yeah, let me see. I mean, I think LSU they got to score in the 30s to win this game. I don't think 26 will be enough. Like 35, 32. I think both teams might get in the 30s. I think it might be a little bit high, not as high scoring as the Tennessee game and Alabama game, but I think both teams can get in the 30s. I think both offenses are that good.
Yeah. And I think too,
what's the over under this game? Let's see. Over under is 56.5.
Ooh.
50. They got 56.5 as the over under. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, so Vegas kind of thinks of 30, in the 30s for both teams. So okay. Yeah. But But if it's pouring down rain, then I think that's going to change it. Then that's not going to happen. They're not going to get in the 30s then.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. Not if it's pouring down rain the whole game. But so Bama's favored by 13.5. Wow.
Yep.
It's a lot. It's a lot on the road. It's a lot.
It is a lot on the road. I don't think, honestly, I don't think we cover that. I mean, I think we could win,
right?
Not necessarily by double digits, but like
8, 10, yeah.
8 or 10, yeah. I don't know about 13.5.
That's a lot. Okay, because you gotta win by 14 because the half a point. So you gotta win by 14. So yeah, but Vegas is usually right more than they're wrong. But I don't see it. But we'll see. But okay, so Bryce Young has 18 touchdowns, 3 picks. Gibbs is your leading rusher. So is Eli Ricks playing now? Uh-oh, I lost Ballard. We'll see if Ballard comes back. So it's just me. I'm just dealing with me here. So let's see. So Alabama's averaging 43 points per game, and they're only giving up 16.6. LSU is averaging 35 and getting up 21. See, 21 is a little high. I like to see LSU like in that 19, 18 range. A little bit below 21. What, Marie? So I think Ballard's internet went out. So the total yards, if you look at the total yards per game, 485 for Bama, 450 for LSU. He's back.
So what were you saying? It kicked me out.
Oh, kicked you out. I was talking about Eli Ricks. Is he?
Yes.
He's playing now?
He's playing, and he's definitely our best corner right now.
I mean, he was our best cornerback. He just his head wasn't going straight. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of talent. I just don't know. Good, but I mean, I just don't. If he gets in the NFL, he's definitely have to clean up his act because the NFL, they do their homework on these players and they know what they eat for dinner and lunch and all that. He's a 5-star. He's got a lot of talent. Just his work ethic here wasn't very good. I don't know how it is over there, but he hasn't been playing, has he, until this past few weeks? I don't remember seeing him in the Tennessee game, or very limited.
Well, he started out the season playing a little bit. I don't know where he went, but yeah, it was a couple weeks in there where we didn't really put him on the field, and he finally stepped it up in against Mississippi State. So
yeah, maybe a light went off in his head that he needs to if his goal is to go to the NFL, he better get his act together because he's not going to make it in the NFL with a poor work ethic. It's not going to happen. So
yeah,
but he's a lot of talent. He's a good cornerback. He was our best cornerback when he was here for 2 years. So in 2020 and 2021, he was our best guy. So
yeah, for sure. Really, I mean, I don't really have much else other than I'll say this about the LSU Bama game. I think it's going to come down to, who's going to have the better offense. And we could talk about defense all we want to, but in today's college football,
it's offense, man.
It is offense. And, if LSU can at least hang around, on the scoreboard and
the fourth quarter
with yardage through the fourth quarter, I think they have a really good chance.
Right. Yeah, this isn't going to be a 9-6 game back in 2011. It's not going to be that game.
No.
That's
gone.
I think those days are over in the SEC.
Yeah.
Those days are not going to have. You're not going to have that kind of a game where it's 9-6 and nobody scores a touchdown at all.
Right.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, I was looking over your stats. Yeah, Alabama only gives up 93 yards on the ground a game, that's under 100 is good. LSU's 142. So, like I said, if LSU needs to get it. If they can give up like 120 on the ground to Bama, they got a chance. But if they're letting Bama run for 200 yards, then they're probably not going to win.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's just. I think this game is going to boil down to, like we said earlier, is whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, who converts that big third down late in the game or turnover, who gets the big turnover late in the game, and special teams. We didn't talk about that.
Field position.
Special teams has been a problem for LSU. Muffing kicks. That's one thing that LSU cannot let happen Saturday is not catching a punt, letting an extra point get blocked or a field goal get blocked, dropping a kickoff like they did against Tennessee on the opening kickoff.
Yeah,
they dropped the kickoff.
I bet that kind of takes you off.
You can't that can't happen in a game where two teams are pretty much even, or maybe one's a little better than you, but it's just special teams. Now, we didn't talk about that. How special teams might determine who wins this football game, who makes a big kick.
Yeah.
As
far as Alabama special teams, James Burnip, the punter, he's got some good punting yards. I think that's going to be big in this game. Is where can he line up LSU? Can LSU stay out of good field position for Alabama? And Will Reichard, he was perfect in 2020, and I think maybe he only missed one or two kicks last year, but he's missed a couple more this year, man, and it's kind of worried me. And I don't know what's going on. I understand you're a kicker, and it's not an easy job. And he's still good. I'm not hearing Alabama fans say anything, but you got to be able to hit the extra points. You got to be able to hit the kicks and just make field goals when you need them. So I think especially because it even plays in for the Tide.
It's weird because when Saban was here at LSU, he had field goal and problems. He had kicker problems too. Then his 5 years here, we had inconsistencies at times in kicking. It's weird. I don't know if he just doesn't specialize in it or doesn't think it's as important as other positions. But we had problems when he was here kicking. So it's kind of weird that it's kind of followed him to Bama a little bit. So
yeah. So bottom line is this, man. LSU has a chance in this game. I'm not going to rule that out.
They do.
But there's a lot of things that need to happen. I'm looking at stats and everything back at the Tennessee game because you always want to look back at how the team beat Alabama. You got to control. It was all the penalties for Alabama. If you could just cause penalties and have a better completion percentage, make the bigger plays downfield, I think you guys have a chance.
Yeah, like I said, we talked about. They're going to have to. LSU's going to have to play mistake-free football to win this game. They can't turn the ball over, and they can't have a huge amount of penalties. You're going to have penalties, but you can't have 10 penalties for 110 yards.
Right.
You can't have that. You can't have that. You can't have a penalty where it takes away a first down late in the game. You can't have those kind of penalties. But there's a lot of things that they're going to have to do to win this football game because, like I said, Bama's a little better than we are. They're better.
Right.
They're better, but it's not a game where LSU can. It's like in 2020. The last time we played in Baton Rouge in 2020.
Right.
We had no chance in that game, none. And that was in that COVID year. That's when y'all be like 55-17 or something like that. Oh, we had no chance. There was none. LSU had no chance winning that game. None. Going into the game, they had no chance winning that game. It wasn't going to happen. This game's a little bit different. We'll
Right.
see Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to both the games this Saturday, so I'm gonna watch both of them. But
Yeah.
but the CBS game will probably be in the third quarter when our game kicks off. So
Yeah. That Tennessee Georgia. So, I mean, I got two things for you. I guess we could go ahead and talk predictions for Alabama LSU, but what's your prediction for Tennessee Georgia?
man,
That's tough to call.
It is because I don't know because Tennessee is a very, very good offense, man, and I just I think they're going to score against Georgia. I don't think Georgia's going to stop them. I think Tennessee's going to get their points. Just the question is, can Georgia match it? I think Tennessee wins, man.
Okay.
I think Tennessee beats Georgia.
I think
they're going to outscore them.
Yeah, I can understand that. I was in doubt, and when I'm in doubt, I normally, especially for an SEC game like this, I take the home team because home field advantage and crowd. So I took Georgia, but it would not surprise me at all if Tennessee were to take this game. I also will leave you with this too. As far as our game, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, but I got a score prediction for us, 42-28.
Ooh, okay, 42 miles. All right,
so that's 14 points.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna say 35-32, and I'm gonna say close. I'm gonna say LSU gets a field goal at the end to win the game.
All right, confident. I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be positive. But Neo thinks Georgia. Look, I mean, I wouldn't surprise me. Hell, I mean, Georgia's a good team. They got a very good football team.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit if Georgia wins that game. But I don't know, man. Tennessee their offense is really, really good. Their defense isn't. Their defense is not that good. I think that's one thing. That's one question mark about. Their defense isn't that good. That's going to hold them back. But especially if you guys play them again. If you guys play them again in Atlanta, I think it's going to be a different outcome than the game that happened a few weeks ago. I think it'd be a different outcome.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, that's pretty much all I got for you today. I'll let you have a final word. For those of you watching, don't forget, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave a like, and go subscribe to Goose Sports. What you got coming up on your channel?
Tonight was tough. I didn't know if I was going to do the baseball game or these crappy NFL game we got tonight, but I decided to do the baseball game. I don't know, man. Just the Texans and the Eagles.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know, man. If the Eagles are playing the Cowboys or the Giants, or the Bengals, the Bills, I'll do the NFL game. But man, I don't know. Watch the NFL game be a good game. Watch the Texans play out their minds, and they beat the Eagles. but I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, Eagles are playing really good. I've been really impressed with Jalen Hurts. He's progressed. He's progressed as a passer. This guy. I just think this would be one of those Thursday night games that's a bore. I don't know if you have Amazon Prime, but man, these games have been boring, man, on Thursday nights for the most part. They've been boring.
I don't think it'll be a close game, but that doesn't mean it has to be boring, man.
Right.
Just watch the Eagles offense.
Oh yeah. Well, it's boring as a neutral fan. If it's like, man, just I don't know, but
yeah.
But Eagle fan. But look, man, Philadelphia, man, they got. If you live in Philadelphia, you have your option tonight. You can watch football and baseball tonight. So.
Well, they probably want to watch baseball because What are we at? Game 4?
I think game 5, I believe.
Game
Game
5.
5.
Okay.
Yes, 2-2. Yeah, all the sports
That
bars will
series
be.
is getting tight.
Yeah, the sports bars in Philadelphia are probably happy tonight because they got the football and baseball on. So they
Yeah.
get double viewership.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, they had a no hitter. Astros no hit the Phillies last night. So
Yep. At least saw highlights. I had to
yeah,
work, but I went back and saw highlights of it.
so it's 2-2. So this is a pivotal game 5 for both teams. Both teams. I think this is the last one in Philadelphia. I think they'll go to Houston for game 6 and 7. So this is a big game for the Phillies to go up 3-2 going on the road, back on the road. So
Yeah.
so that should be a good game tonight. But who plays in college? I mean, I remember years ago, man. College used to have like good ACC games on Thursday nights, but since the NFL now is kind of taken over, let's see, any games on college tonight that's like worth. No, UTEP and Rice, and Appalachian State and Coastal Carolina. So yes, that's not going to move the needle, nobody. But now I wonder if college football, since all these NFL games are on Amazon Prime, not everybody has Amazon Prime. I saw the ratings are not very good for Thursday Night Football. I wonder if we're going to see like more better games on Thursdays now, starting next year in college, like they used to be. I mean, Florida State played. They used to have games on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Thursday night used to be Virginia Tech. They used to play on Thursday nights on ACC. So I mean, I wish they would go back to that. It's kind of a bore. UTEP and Rice, Appalachian State, and Coastal Carolina. Nobody
even
really.
Even the Friday games kind of suck. UMass and UConn.
Yeah,
we got.
Yeah, UMass, UConn. They got Duke, Boston College. Okay, Oregon State and Washington. That might be. They're both 6-2. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little more intriguing than some of the other games on there. But yeah, and Saturday. Who plays Saturday night? Like opposing us on ABC. Do you know? It was Florida State. It was Florida State, Miami.
State, yeah.
Yeah, Miami and Florida State, and that's both those teams are unranked. Man, I remember when that game used to be top 10. Both those teams were in the top 10, top 5, top 5. Now that game is 2 unranked teams that nobody's going to care about outside those Tallahassee and Miami.
You got 21 Wake Forest and 22 NC State, though. That could be something.
Well, that's on the ACC network.
Mm-hmm.
That game. I don't know. That game might have been on ABC. Opposed to Florida State, Miami. I mean, I don't know. I know Florida State, Miami doesn't have the national appeal like it had once before. It doesn't.
Right.
Because both those teams are garbage. They're not even ranked. Not even ranked. Sad.
It's crazy, man.
But did Miami just lose to Duke?
Oh God.
They lost to Duke, right?
Yeah.
And they beat Virginia 14-12 and 4. How do you win 14-12 and 4 overtimes? I thought that was a misprint when I saw that. Wait, I thought it was just overtime. So wait, how did he win in 4 overtimes? Man, that's just sad.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Cristobal has his work cut out for him in Miami. Man, Miami. I just don't get. I don't get it. I don't get how Miami's so bad. They shouldn't be with all that talent in Florida, high school talent. Right. Miami should not be that bad.
I figured they got a coach that knew what he was doing when they got Cristobal, right. And maybe it is going to take some time. But dude, like, what was it? 14-12?
Yeah, 14-12 and 4 overtimes. That's just bad offense, man.
Oh my gosh,
that's just bad offense, man. But yeah, so I mean, that's all I got, man. I think we rambled on. I think we rambled enough about stuff.
Yeah, man. Appreciate Goose Sports
No
for coming
problem, man.
on and talking Alabama LSU. Be sure to go over there, subscribe to him. He's got a lot of subscribers and does a lot of great live streams reacting to baseball,
Yeah.
football, basketball, and he does a lot of great work, a lot of great content. And Goose, I appreciate you coming on, man.
No problem, Ballard. No problem, man.
Y'all hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Roll
Alrighty.
Tide.
Go Tigers.